Well, hello, Facebook, and hello, YouTube. It's your girl, B Woods, Brandy Woods, the millionaire midwife, and your millionaire child care success coach. So, it's the day after Easter, and I have so many things to share with you. No, I didn't tell anybody I was going live today, but I needed to. I had some things on my heart that I wanted to share, and hopefully you'll catch us live. So if you're here live, let us know. We'll be starting in just a moment. So listen, I've been thinking about this and I've been thinking about this a lot. So I wanted to come on tonight and make sure that I have Shantae, you're like on my list of people to call. So we gotta talk tonight. It just gotta be God. I'm so happy to see you. I want to talk to you about a topic about successful people. Um, this has really been on my heart, and a while back ago, my coach told me something, and it really touched my heart because I was going through a very difficult time, and I decided to show up anyway. And he said something to me, and it went like, that's my little sister," and I was so proud. But the thing about what he said had nothing to do with me having like a wonderful day. It had all to do about me showing up. Now, I get a lot of flack from people calling me metahuman. Listen, I'm not a metahuman, but I have decided to be I'm gonna say a no matter what kind of person when it comes to my success, right? But I didn't like learn this all of a sudden. I learned this by having some tests and some trials. A lot of times people think, oh, when something good's happen, it must be because someone just had an easy time and an easy road. I want to talk about it tonight. Y'all willing to talk about it with me? What makes successful people successful? Because the truth of the matter is, there are some very key ingredients to you mastering your success. And when you look at the success of others, you're going to see some of these things are very, very prevalent. So if you're ready to walk this walk with me tonight, let me know that you're ready in the chat, because I just feel like we need to go ahead and talk about it. As we're entering into the spring season, I've heard a lot of talk and chatter about people saying, the first of the year just hadn't been kind to me. And, I've heard other people say, I wish things were this way, or if things were this way, I would be different. I'm here to challenge you and tell you, I don't think so. Because successful people are not just guided by the elements in the world. The clouds don't always align, and you still have to choose a path of success, right? And so it's your choice. And a lot of times I'm faced with a lot of adversity or a lot of responsibility. So when you own your own business, when you're a mother, when you have a blended family, when you have cousins and family that depend on you, when you have friendships, all of these things can create a level of super responsibility. Anybody ever felt that? Did you had this level where you feel like, man, I'm feeling a little super responsible. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Is there another way that I can do this easier? Is there a lighter cup for me to carry? So in thinking about these things, and someone asked me today, they were like, how do you get it all done? How do you get it all done, Brandy? And because this person is really close to me, so they see the ugly part of life that maybe you guys don't get to see on Facebook. They see the days maybe that I don't feel so well, or they see the days where I'm having to deal with an extreme circumstance. And he looked at me and he said, how do you do it all and keep a smile on your face? And I really began to ponder upon, what really successful people do. But I'm going to talk to you about 4 things successful people do. But I'm going to answer his question publicly. The reason why I do it all, as he says, because I don't do it all, but in his mind, I do it all. The reason why I do it all is because there was a time when I could do nothing, right? There was a time when I felt like I was imprisoned in my life. There was a time where I felt like things weren't working out for my good. There were times when I was disgusted, busted, broke. And so when I found my way out, I promised myself every day, no matter what the day, that I was going to do my very best with the time that I was given on this earth. Now, I don't know if you know any people who died prematurely, but I know I have people in my life that died sooner than I wanted them to. I had people in my life that, I felt like they went to the grave with a lot of potential. I know women that didn't get out of their difficult situation. I know people who lost their job and they never recovered. So when I think about everything I went through, whether that's homelessness, brokenness, brokenhearted, being unhealthy, having people and things and places in my life that didn't serve me, I decided when I came out of that place that I would do everything in my power to always make sure that I was putting my best foot forward. So I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about what successful people do and what successful people don't do. Because a lot of times you think successful people have a magic wand. It's not true. There is no magic wand. The things that happen to them hurt them just like they hurt you. The things that people say to them, they hurt them just like they hurt you. Money gets low for them just like it gets low for you. But one of the biggest differences is they respond differently, right? The way I respond to a situation is going to be as if there is hope. I see some people, I ain't going to call no names. Don't make me call your name. Literally fall apart about everything. They fall apart if they don't have no eggs in the refrigerator, the same way they fall apart if somebody passes away. They fall apart when their car breaks down, the same way they would if the doggone car was repossessed. I'm going to tell you something. It ain't that serious. I used to think everything was just that serious. And I was a part of the fall apart crew. Listen, I had my share of falling apart. Do you hear me? I had my share of falling apart. But what I learned is me falling apart did not better my situation. The only thing me falling apart did was made me more unclear about the next step I needed to take. So sometimes, real talk, you got to respond differently. And if you're with me, put different in the chat. You got to choose a different course of action than the world. You got to kind of say, listen, I know that these things are happening, but everything is still working out for my good. And I'm not going to let a person, a place, or a thing destroy my peace to the point of me just losing control. Nobody is served with you losing control. Nobody is helped with you losing control. Nobody sees the light in you with you losing control, getting an attitude, stumping away, holding a grudge. Sometimes you just have to decide to respond differently. So I asked my cousin Sandy, and she's not on Facebook, but me and her were talking not too long ago. She's my older cousin. She was in town. And I said, hey, I'm making a big decision, and I trust her. And she was like, well, what's the decision? And I told her a little bit about the decision. And she said, you need to choose the way of peace. And I was like, that was such a simple statement. But what she was saying is, Don't choose what's going to take you out of a place of peace. You got to respond differently. Some of you guys are making decisions that's not only taking you out of a place of peace, it's taking you out of a place of comfort, and it's putting you in a place of confusion. So successful people. We talking about successful people. You want to know the second thing that successful people do? If so, I want you to put number 2 in the chat. If so, put number 2 in the chat. Because I am finding this about successful people all over the world. And it's not just one, it's many. And if I line them up in a row, you're going to see that these 4 things that I'm about to tell you, that all of them do. The next thing that successful people do is they make time and not excuses. Some of y'all are working against the clock. And you're working against the clock. 1, because you have no plan. 2, some have no discipline. They say that they're going to do something, but they just don't do it. Have no plan, have no discipline. Or they allow everybody else excuses, emergencies, circumstances to become their excuses, emergencies, and circumstances. Just because you have an emergency don't mean I'm having an emergency. I can't respond to your lack of discipline and your sense of urgency. I tell my kids this. Don't call me telling me you left something at home and you know you were supposed to put it in your backpack. You have to get to a point where you make time and not excuses. What does making time look like? Get up earlier. I am a morning person. You're not a morning person? Stay up later. But one of the best ways to make time is to ask for help. Some of you are out here just doing way too much because you have this attitude. And I hear my people say it every time. I don't want to ask nobody for nothing because I don't want to owe nobody nothing. This is one of the craziest, I'm going to almost say demonic things that we can think as a people. We don't want to ask for help. We want to do it. What does it serve you not to ask for help? How does it serve your family not to ask for help? How does it help your health if you just got to do everything yourself? No, what you're doing is being selfish and self-destructive. But real leaders, real winners, successful people, they make time. By 1, being disciplined about their time. That may mean I can't binge watch every single show. That may mean I need to make sure my 8 a.m. to about 7 p.m. is full with productivity. That means I need to even schedule time in for my family or people that are important to me. Unsuccessful people make excuses. Successful people make time. And it's the truth. If I had something to do, I'd rather give it to the busiest person I know than the person with a lot of time. Because the reason why you got a lot of time is because everybody know you ain't going to do nothing with it. I can't deal with a complainer, right? While you making excuses, being unsuccessful, unfulfilled, we could have already did the work. So you need to think about how you're using your time. What does your calendar look like? Do you have a calendar? Or are you tossed by the waves and the wind and whatever people have to say, or girl, I need you. Can you just come get a drink with me? No, but we can plan that. But it's 5 o'clock on Monday. It's money making time. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I have to plan. Because there are things that I have to do that's important to me, that's urgent for me. So sometimes you got to have to learn how to say no. Or better yet, not now. I want to do that, but not now. This is one of my super tools. When people ask me to do something and they act like I'm the only person who can do it, I say, you know what? I'm really busy right now. Let me call you back in a few hours. Normally, in a few hours, they have magically, mysteriously supernaturally, maybe it was the Holy Ghost, they have figured it out. You want to know why? Because it was their emergency, not mine, to figure out. Now, don't get me wrong, and don't be spreading rumors. I didn't say don't help your family and friends. Don't lie on me. I didn't say don't spend time with your family and friends. What I said is you have to be disciplined, right? So number 2, we're talking about successful people. Number 1 was they respond differently. They don't respond the way the rest of the world responds. They respond with intention. If it's an A situation, I'm going to respond with an A response, right? I ain't jumping off the cliff just because I don't have no eggs in the house. Come on, people. Number 2, they make time. If you want number 3, put number 3 in the chat. If you want number 3, put number 3 in the chat. Now, number 3 is very important to me. Because I learned this late in life. And I think if I would have learned it earlier in life, I think I would have been further off than I am today. But I'm happy that I learned this lesson, because without doing this, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be stagnant and you are going to always operate in a box. So if y'all ready for number 3? Did y'all put number 3 in the chat? I want y'all to be ready. I hope y'all like me. Number 3, they invest in themselves. Like, some of y'all want to do things. You want to craft, but you won't go to a crafting class. You'll buy all the materials, but you want to be on this learning curve, right? You want to do things, but you won't invest in yourself. Some of you guys will invest more in everybody else in the world except for yourself. And when I'm talking about invest, some of you guys will invest in that Louis Vuitton, but you would never invest that kind of money in yourself. Some of y'all drive cars that cost just as much as your house, but you won't invest in the knowledge to actually buy your house. I don't get it. I want to understand it, but I don't get it. I want you to know something. And I ain't going to go too pro on y'all. But listen, I ain't going to go too Wakanda on y'all. You hear me? But this is what I'm going to say. Knowledge is the only thing that will bring a person or a people out of a situation. These situations includes poverty. These situations includes dependency on a system. These situations includes being tied to a 9-to-5. These situations includes only being told that if you work for 35, 40 years, I'm going to give you 50% of what you've been living off of. Now, I don't know how I'm going to live off 50 to 70% of my income as I get older and as things get more expensive. But we don't want knowledge. And girls and guys, this is what kills me more than that. We downplay people who want it. We downplay people who talk good sense. When people tell us stuff like, hey, insure your family. Oh, girl, there he come again with them that insurance talk, right? We will spend thousands of dollars on hair. Let's just talk about hair, ladies. And let's be honest. In the last 10 years, if you would have invested in real estate or in stocks as much as you have invested in hair dues that don't look good in 3 to 6 weeks, how much money would you have? Now, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I want you to really think about it. If we invested in stocks, in real estate, and in education, the same way we invest in other things, purses, hair, clothes, things that have no return on investment, how much further would we be? Y'all don't like me? I love y'all. We're talking about successful people. We're talking about literally, what does it take for you to be successful? That's what we're talking about. We talked about how successful people respond differently. We talked about how they make time and not excuses, and how they invest in themselves. It pains me to see so many great people just not move as fast as they could. We don't have to learn everything ourselves, right? So I'm gonna take you back through history. And I think this is important. I think it's relevant. Through history, we typically got paid for what we could do, what we can do with our hands. And if we could do well with our hands, I don't know what keeps making the binging sound, but if we could do well with our hands, then most of the times we could make a living. We could, sustain ourselves. And then there came a time where we learned we didn't have to get paid just for what we could do. We didn't have to just be workhorses. We could also get paid for what we know, right? How do you know more? One way is going to college, right? Going to school. But that's not the only way. There's so many shortcuts. I have a friend of mine, shout out to Coach Cass. She has a beautiful crafting school. And just learning how to craft and teaching others how to craft has made multi-million dollars. Just, first of all, learning and then teaching. There are things that you are talented and that you know how to do, right? There are things that you know how to do. Invest in that skill. I talk to a lot of childcare owners, and I know some of them are watching. That is a skill that we have, right? We have learned how to create schools, create organizations, grow people, support the community. There are things that we've learned, but it don't have to be that. There are things that you know that I don't know. You know what you're good at. My husband loves cars. I don't understand it. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate the cars. But he loves them. He buys them. He's wipes them down and sparkles them up and sells them. And that's what he loves. That's his gift. Some of you love to sew. Some of you love to talk, right? All of these things. Invest in yourself so you can do it better. But I got to go on to number 4 because I have a client calling just a second. Y'all ready for number 4? Go ahead and drop number 4. Talking about the things successful people do. We talked about they respond differently. They make time. They invest in themselves. And now we're ready for number 4. Ready for number 4. All right, number 4. Oh, let me correct this because I don't want anything misspelled. Because this is important. They release people, places, and things that don't serve them. People, places, and things that don't serve them. Now, A lot of y'all think y'all good at releasing people. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about releasing people like you don't talk to them no more or you have a grudge. That's not what I'm talking about. Oh, let me say, that's why I wasn't changing. I'm not talking about releasing people, places, and things in a way that you don't fool with nobody, because that's a trick too. You know, I don't need no new friends. I don't need nobody. We grow as a community. You can go fast by yourself real fast and you're going to fizzle out. You can go far with a team. You can go far with a community. But there are times when certain people, places, and things don't serve you anymore. I'm going to tell you about the time I had to release a place, because I know y'all know about things and people. But there was a time I lived in a place, and this place brought me so much depression. It stifled my growth and creativity. It wasn't a healthy place for me, right? And I knew that if I didn't move away from that place, that my ability to grow was gonna lessen. This is why certain plants only grow in certain environments. Check your environment. Are you in the place you're supposed to be in? Are you surrounded by people that are not toxic? But more than that, what about the things? The habits. Can y'all put habits in the chat? How many of y'all have habits that you just need to let go? Now, I'm drinking a little tea right now. But me and Coke, I'm making myself not drink Coke as often because it's a habit. And what really made me think about it is my 14-year-old. The other day, she's like, "Oh, I'm stressed. Let me get a Coke." I was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to pass that on to her. I do not want to pass that on to her." So when we talk about releasing people, places, and things, I find that real successful people, what they do when they find people or certain places or certain things are not serving them, they remove it from their life. Why would I hold something on to me that's taking life away from me and not adding life back to me? So this may be, the food you eat, the people you entertain. It could be a place you go. It could be a place you live. It could be a place you work. It could be a place you worship. I want you to sit with that. Are there any people, places, and things I need to release? Are there any habits that are no longer serving me? I just feel the unction to share this on tonight, because I want the people that I love. I want the people that I respect. I want you guys to win. I want you guys to win with all of my heart, with all of my soul. I want, at the end of the day, I want you guys to win. And I want you to feel really good about the decisions that you're making. So I'm going to recap. Successful people, they respond differently. They make time and not excuses. They invest in themselves. And they release people, places, and things that don't serve them. So tonight, I'm going to end this video, but I would like to say, for those of you who are thinking about coming to the Childcare Millionaires Conference, we have 8 live seats available, in-person seats available, and we have live stream available. And as many people who wants to join live stream can. So we definitely want you guys to join in. And here's a special invitation.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic, Sales, and Profit. And if you are in the child care industry, there is only one place you should be. It's only one person you should be connected with, and that is Brandy Wood-Smith. Listen, this event, right, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. Guess what? I'm going to be there. But this event is specifically crafted and curated for you, for your industry, and for individuals like you, right, in your business to find out how to catapult yourself from the center you have today to the center you've always dreamed of. I'm talking about unlimited supply of children that you're helping, that you're molding. I'm talking about parents that you're lifting the burden off of. I'm talking about an impact, right? A social impact in your communities and an economic impact to your bottom line. That is what this event is all about. You are officially connected to the best with Brandy and her team, and I cannot wait to see you at her event in May. You better be there.
So, guys, we would love for you guys to come to the conference. The conference is for childcare owners and leaders. I know my entrepreneurs out there, I got to figure out a way for us to meet up. But this event is going to be awesome. We have 150 people plus our speakers that's going to be joining us in Houston. And hopefully, a few hundred online. Hey, a girl can dream. But we're doing some big things. We wanted you to know about it. We wanted to invite you. But please remember, guys, you can be successful. I'm rooting for you. This week, let's work on responding differently. Let's work on making time and not excuses. Let's invest in ourselves. I don't care if it's that hour reading, that program you've been wanting to buy, that class you've been wanting to take, that gym membership that you need, whatever it is, that vacation. Find a way to invest in yourself. And last but not least, release people, places, and things that no longer serve you. All right, guys, I love you from the bottom of my heart. It's your girl, B. Woods, signing out. I'll see you guys soon, but I'll definitely see you at the bank.